Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be moving ahead with the next session. This is going to be a session on design and mobility, and to do the honors on stage, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Pratap Bose, Chief Design and Creative Officer, Auto and Farm Sector, Mahindra and Mahindra. Please give it up for Mr. Bose, please, as I call him up on stage. Hello, sir. Pleasure to have you. Thank you. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Bose, ladies and gentlemen. And you would be comfortable with this mic, this mic?
I'll use this.
Okay, super.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. True Bombay spirit, everyone's sort of made it in the rain, and whoever hasn't made it is still on their way, I'm sure. Is this the clicker? Yeah? Okay, so great to be here. I think, Jyotsna, you were saying I was here in the second edition, and now it's the sixth one. And it's great to see this conference grow from strength to strength. We spoke, Pradumna and Dr. Batra spoke about the not just consumer, but an ecosystem in this world that we need. And of course, in Mahindra, we provide you the means of getting through the rain and the floods to places like this. So just on 15th of August, which was the Friday gone, we showed our vision for 2027 and beyond, some new products that we are going to launch. And at the core of our design philosophy is what we call hardcore design. Hardcore design is a coming together of two words. We make SUVs, as you all know, hardcore SUVs, but we design it from the heart. And this is very important. An SUV or a car is the second most or third most capital intensive purchase that anyone will do. And there's a lot of consideration in how and why you buy something. So we create that desire, and that's why we call it hardcore design. We have, unlike many auto companies, we have what we call a house of brands. And you know them probably, they're all household names, the Thar, the Bolero, we have then the Scorpio, the XUV. And just in November last year, 2024, we added our BE brand or B brand, which is a sort of born electric. We did that. We launched those on the 23rd of November, I think, last year. And the response has been overwhelming. On the first hour of the first day that the bookings opened, we got 30,687 bookings in the first hour. The total passenger vehicle EV market in India is 100,000 cars, 1 lakh cars. So we got 1/3 of the bookings in 1 hour of one day. And that was something that, neither we or anyone, analysts, you name it, expected. So that just shows that the power of captivating design, telling a good story, is great. No one buys EVs because necessarily they want to, be greener or be cleaner. That's, of course, one of the considerations. But they buy them because they're still objects of desire. And that's what we created. And the next generation of products is, what we'll share with you today. So you spoke about a VUCA world, I think, Pradumna. And we are facing a hyper VUCA world, I think, every single day. If you open the papers, there's a certain politician who changes the world every day. Now, how do you prepare and plan for that sort of world? So if I give you an idea, in Mahindra Automotive, we are investing 27,000 crores. That's 27,000 crores. That's 27 followed by 10 zeros. That's the factor of investment it takes. And if things change from one day to the other, or if policies change from one day to the other, it can have a huge impact, not just on us, but all the people who work in the company. We have 14,000 direct employees, and God knows how many in our supplier ecosystem. How do you plan 27,000 crore investment when the world is changing every hour? So new IQ, this is new as in new, and IQ is innovation quotient. New IQ is one of the world's first vehicle architectures that is truly multi-energy. That means you can have petrol, you can have diesel, you can have electric in one architecture without any compromise. See, today what happens in many EVs is that they were born as petrol or diesel engine cars, and then you remove the engine and you put a battery and a motor, but you live with a lot of compromise because it wasn't meant for that. Then we did, the what we call born EV architecture, but then you can't put an engine on that. So new IQ is one of the world's first architectures which allows you to do both. And this is our answer to that VUCA world. Now, whenever we start any project, we ask ourselves some questions in the design team, and the toughest questions actually bring out the best in the team. And I will show you 3 brands that we showcased, or 4 concept cars across 3 brands. And we asked a question for each one. And the philosophy, a bit based on hardcore design and emotion, was when opposites attract, sparks fly. So for the first product, we asked ourselves, can something new be iconic? Icons take time to create. Well, we said, can something be born iconic? And we started on these 2 products. These are Visions at the moment. We call them Vision T and Vision SXT. And in every program we start, we break it down to the basics. It's all about proportion, surfaces, details, and then the interior design, and how you play with elements to create desire. So here you can see immediately, if you are looking at a car from 50 meters, 100 meters, you recognize it straight away. And then, of course, things like the wheel size, the ground clearance, the overhangs, they make a huge difference. It's like a human body, right? The architecture is the skeleton, and the clothes that you put on yourselves is actually the design. So we don't use the word styling at all in Mahindra. It's not a word we use anywhere in the company. It's always design, because design means that you get involved in the architecture, the new IQ that I showed you, and then what goes on top. We then, of course, have an interior which has to go with that exterior. There's materials, there's colors, there's finishes. There's almost 3,000 parts, customer-facing parts that we design. And every single element of that has to be given a specification. What materials is it going to be? How's it going to feel? How's it made? How do you recycle it? So in a couple of our EVs, we've launched a fabric which is 50% recycled PET bottles, what we used to throw away still. There was no supplier in India who made that fabric. So we got them to put up a plant for us. And we said, if we can't give you the volume, sell it to anyone, because that's one of our aims. So I'll just show you a little clip on what these 2 vehicles. I hope there's some volume here. Can you put some volume, please? Hello? Okay, can you just stop the film then? Yeah, just go back. So, when we present these vehicles, we make a story. How do you I think Dr. Batra, you were talking about design and how it functions in a business. How do you convince a group of finance people, left-brain people, to invest 27,000 crores? Yeah, so those were the first two products. When you get a design brief, there are usually Excel sheets, and maybe if someone puts in some effort, you'll get a PowerPoint. How do you make that Excel sheet and PowerPoint into something that the whole company can stand around and say, wow, this is what we're going to get? Because, the international operations will say, we're going to sell it in Australia, New Zealand, this is the architecture that will get us there, blah, blah, blah. Once you visualize this, they themselves get convinced that they should do it. And that's the power of design and storytelling. So that was the first of the four, first two of the four. The next one we asked, can something which is sculptural still be moving? This was for another brand in the portfolio, and which is a very athletic, sporty, sculptural brand for the youth. It's just 4 meters in length. And that was the Vision X. So we did the similar process. I won't go through the whole thing. We start with proportion. This is all the basics of design, actually. What should be the angle of the A-pillar, the cabin to the hood, the ground clearance, wheel size. So we sit with our team of 4,100 engineers in Chennai, and we really go through this phase very, very intensely, because this sets the tone for whatever you design for the next 14 to 15 years. And architecture lasts basically 2 generations of cars. So what you put down, and when the steel is cut and the platform is stamped, you can't go back. So you spend a lot of time on getting this right, so that the products you design on that architecture are amazing. So like I said, we go through proportion, surface detail. If there are any students here of car design, that's the best way to do it. I get a lot of sketches from young people, young students. They've already jumped into details and they're showing the headlamps, but the rest of the car has literally no structure. So if you want to do that, be a car designer. But it's true for many things, actually. Start with proportion, then get into surface, then get into detail. I think that'll help you. It's a very simple process. And again, I won't show you all the sketches, but interior design is the same thing. There's this huge dilemma now between how much should be on a screen, how much should be physical buttons. And we are trying to find that balance. We aren't there, but we keep sort of experimenting. How do we get that balance right? Everyone says, oh, people are used to using their phone. The phone has no buttons, but a phone is not traveling at 90 kilometers an hour on an expressway. So when you take your eyes off the road, even for a couple of seconds to adjust something on a screen, you've probably already gone and hit something. So yes, there's a lot of active safety, which is post-crash, but if you can prevent a crash, there's nothing like it. So HMI, UI, UX, how do you interact with the vehicle? We've got a Snapdragon chip in this car, which is one of the most powerful computing chips in the world in any field. Why? Because it has to do so many things. It has to talk, it has to control the car, it has to get you information from outside. There's ADAS. Then you have car-to-car conversations, car-to-infrastructure. So the electronic sort of layers in a modern automobile are way beyond anything we can imagine. So to be able to interact with that, the HMI, UI, UX design becomes absolutely fundamental and critical. So Vision X, how did we sell that inside the company? Yeah, so that was the third out of the 4 cars, and you can see how different it looks, even though the architecture is the same. And the last one was, can solid be sporty? It's that contradiction. Something solid and blocky, can that be sporty? So I won't go through the whole process because this red monitor is telling me time's up. But again, same thing, proportion, surface detail. But I'll cut straight to the clip. Of course, we make hundreds of sketches. You can see the skill or the art behind hardcore. It's truly spectacular what the design team is able to pull off. We have two design teams, as many of you may know. One's based in Oxfordshire in England, and one's based an hour away from here in Mumbai, in Kandivali. And the whole global team is around 160 odd people. And I just wanted to point out that even the clips that you see are completely made in the design studio. There's no professional outside agency, etc., because we can't even give this data out to anyone. It's so confidential before we show the car. So we have to do everything in-house. So again, students of design, there's many areas that you can get into if you want to do automotive design. A lot of people think automotive design is just exteriors and interiors. We have at least 8 or 9 different sub-professions within that. I'll cut to the final. So this we call it SUV for all reasons. Yeah, and this is all 4 models together. We made 2 of them in the UK and 2 for the first time ever in India, show cars. We made in-house in India. So the one in the front and the yellow one on the right. It was completely built at our studio in Kandivali. And I think those who know, what that takes will appreciate what that means. So this is what we showed on Friday. Our share price was 3,200 rupees. We opened today at 3,400 rupees. So if anyone has Mahindra shares, it's you've made 5%. But why I say that is because this is a forum, by business world, and design is business. So when you guys get out into the big bad world, just remember that always. So thank you very much. Thank you.